The trouble with being a kid today is you grow up too quickly. There's just not enough time. Well, for some kids, that is.
Where are we this time?
Horrible histories.
Wow!
Horrible histories.
Who would do that?
A smart, hungry caveman. Good idea.
Have any of you seen a girl about so tall, big, cartoony eyes? Oh, and you gotta go.
You gotta go. And where's Stitch? I can't find him anywhere. Wow! Socrates rocks.
Is that the Spanish Armada?
Horrible histories. Horrible histories. Horrible histories.
Well, Mo, what do you think about all this cool old stuff?
We're history.
So, do you know where we are, Mo?
Oh yeah, still lost.
Me, Darren Dongle. He will be winner of Survival Surrender Hike. I will win because the wilderness will bow before my will. See you at the finish line, losers.
No way Tarzan Boy is gonna beat us in this contest. All we need is a little shortcut for ourselves. Let's rip through here, Stitch! There's more than one way to blaze a trail of victory to the finish line.
Guess that pretty much eliminates that approach.
Right you are, Stitch. Fighting your way to a solution isn't the answer.
Okay, I'm open to suggestions. Say, dynamite?
No, blasting through something isn't as good as working with it.
Sure it is, if it's the difference between winning and losing.
Maybe you'd better zap us back for our history lesson.
Good idea, Stitch.
Stop with the zapping. I haven't completely made my point here.
Where are we?
Not far from the North Pole. Ellesmere Island, Canada, to be exact. The year's 1908, a year of firsts. The first Model T car rolls off the factory line. The first airplane crosses the English Channel.
No, son, that's not a UFO. It's Louis Barrow and his first flight over the English Channel.
And Captain Robert Peary attempts to be the first to reach the top of the world.
Cool, the North Pole.
No, not there yet. But we will be the first ones to reach it, all thanks to Captain Perry and brave volunteers like you.
Volunteers?
I am a cook, and I really need your help with these sled dogs.
Sure, how much trouble can a couple of puppies be? I'm Mo, and this is my friend Stitch.
This one is paper-trained, right?
Sasha? Oh, sure. Almost all of them are.
All of them.
Whew. Talk about puppy breath.
As soon as we land, we start training for the march to the pole.
Stitch, maybe we can't beat Dongle, but this is one contest that's all ours, baby!
Aku, I think I found one of your pups who isn't housebroken yet.
Oh, yes, that is Snowflake. That means he likes you.
Wait a minute! If we're going to the North Pole, why are we sailing into the sunset? That way's west, not north.
Oh, Captain Perry has set a course for Ellesmere Island, Canada, instead of straight for the pole. Ah!
Land ho!
But how can he ever win if he's taking the long way around?
Oh, the good captain will succeed where many have failed, and some even died.
Died?
Like, as in dead?
Yes, many adventurers have set out for the North Pole, and up to this point, no one has ever made it. In 1553, Hugh Willoughby sailed from Britain in hopes of crossing the top of the world to find a passage to Asia. He didn't survive the winter. In 1893, the Norwegian Fridtjof Nansen built a special ship to explore the region. He didn't make it either. In 1897, Salomon André of Sweden tried using a hydrogen balloon. But 3 days later, well, gravity took over. All these explorers, like Captain Perry, were drawn by the sense of adventure and the promise of fame if they could be the first to stand at the exact top of the world.
So, Stan, who's that?
Well, that ship's the Roosevelt, so that must be Captain Perry.
Wouldn't it be cool to be the first to stand at the North Pole, Mo? Mo?
Shh! I'm listening in on Captain Perry's planning meeting.
But Aiku says they're about to serve caribou burgers for dinner.
Yes, and if we're lucky, we'll get a little smoked fat with it.
Hey now, don't make promises you can't keep.
I want to know why we're stuck in Canada and not slogging our way through the ice to the North Pole. Is this a race or what?
So you see, we will approach the pole in a north by northeasterly direction. And I estimate it could take us an entire month of solid marching.
A month?
We will start before the thaw of spring, but for now we will stay here another 7 months.
7 months? You should get those windows reinforced, you know.
To be first to the pole, we must continue learning as much as we can from the Inuit people about living in this climate. You can show us how to work with nature, and not against it.
Yeah, right. Work with nature. Aku, what is this weird stuff anyway?
The perfect thing for making windows and letting light into our igloos. Stretched intestines from seals! Stitch, Mo, good morning.
Morning? It's pitch black outside.
Here on the top of the world, the sun never shines in winter. We will be in the dark for 186 days.
Why all that darkness? The poles are not straight up and down, but are tilted. As the Earth orbits the sun for 6 months, the North Pole leans out of the light, so it's nighttime. And for the other 6 months, it leans into the light, or daylight.
Here I was worried that we hadn't packed any sunblock.
Today, we start the sled dogs endurance training.
I'm for that. I just love dogs.
Your excitable friend does not get Tigerwit, does she?
I don't know. I think she has cable.
Oh, it is 57 degrees below zero outside. You can't rush out. Stitch, put on 1 layer of clothing at a time and get used to the cold.
Oh, man, I don't want to put on these clothes. This is so stupid. Second pair of pants. Get out of here.
When you thaw out, start over, get used to the cold, then meet me outside.
Oh, man.
What are you moaning about? You're the one dressed properly.
Yeah, I'm also the one who forgot to go to the little Inuit boys' room first.
Before we start, here's what we need to do first.
Say no more, Aku. I'm way ahead of you. We need to run the dogs first. Come on, guys.
Mo, wait! Oh, she did it again. Has she never tried Tigerwit?
You know, I think her mom cooked it once, but it made her barf. Don't worry, she can take care of herself.
Oh, but friend Stitch, can she take care of herself against a polar bear? Oh?
Left paw, right paw, that's it! Hey guys!
Mo, it's not safe out here. We could be walking polar bear chow.
Don't be silly. I haven't seen any polar bears. But besides, if we ever saw one, what would we do?
Gee, I don't know. Maybe, we could,
Play dumb and confused?
No, no!
Run!
No! Freeze!
You're right. Stand here like frozen food items.
Yes, we must use tiger wit.
That's bear repellent. I hope you brought a lot of it.
Oh man, we're dead!
Exactly, friend Mo. Play dead.
I'm going fast.
Oh no!
Poor Stitch.
Anyone got a towel?
Boy, that bear looked mad.
You'd be mad too if you had to live where it's freezing all the time.
Freeze Adams here in the Arctic with a ferocious polar bear beast. You're probably saying, Freeze, how does a polar bear live where it's always so cold? Glad you asked. The hair of the polar bear is actually hollow, which traps the heat from sunlight and sends it down to the bear's skin. Deep under all this fur is dark skin, which retains the warmth from the hairs and the warmth his body creates, insulating the bear. Speaking of insulation, this fine specimen of a beast actually has an added layer of fat. This gross, bulging, flabby layer acts like a heavy coat to keep the bear warm. Right, buddy? Until next time, stay warm!
Why do you think polar bears are so special, Stan?
Don't know. Penguins are far more interesting if you ask me.
We've been here forever. When are we heading for the North Pole?
Probably as soon as we grow a layer of fat like the polar bears.
Come on. Captain Perry has something important to tell all of us.
Other expeditions headed for the North Pole when there was light during the warmest months. But that is when the ice gets thin and boats get stuck in the ice floe. My plan is to go during the spring, when it's still cold and the ice is thicker. This little trick from the Inuits will give us the extra light we'll need. Seal blubber will burn in our lanterns for hours.
So where's your blubber? Never mind.
It's a lot tastier than tapioca, you know.
Stitch, doesn't it bother you that while we're sitting around training, a dozen other expeditions could be beating us to the pole? Stitch!
If you are ever lost in the snow, build an igloo to stay warm. Pack together blocks of snow roughly 3 feet by 20 inches by 10 inches. You can even line it with seal skin.
What's wrong with just building a fire?
Mo, put on your listening ears.
And as you work, be sure that you don't get overheated. Your sweat could freeze, and then you'd be in real trouble.
Excuse me, Mr. Hanson. We've been here for almost 7 months. Just when are we going to the North Pole?
Tomorrow, young lady.
What?
If we wait any longer, the ice will start to thaw, and sledding will be difficult, if not impossible.
Yes, and very dangerous.
We've learned much from the Inuits, and now we are ready. Aku, harness up Snowflake and the other dogs.
Look out, well! Soon we're gonna be shaking it out at the North Pole!
Onward!
Yeah! Giddy up! Get along there, little doggies. Lead the way, Snowflake.
Come on! Faster!
Watch it, Mo, before you...
You know what this place could use? A good ski-through hamburger stand.
When we start out again, there will be one less dog for each of the teams.
Really? Did some of the dogs run away?
No. They're being used as... kind of like dog food. Have a nice lunch.
You mean we're eating...
Not you. It's food for the other dogs. And not surprising, really, since food is one of the most valuable things an explorer could bring along to the North Pole. Some earlier expeditions were lucky enough to find frozen campsites, abandoned by others who had gone before them. Those camps had food that was still edible dozens of years later. Captain Perry's team brought extra dogs along to be used as dog food. On another early polar expedition, horses were taken, because they could drag a lot of weight. But when it came to eating their own, well, they didn't have the stomach for it. So the horses, weakened from starvation, couldn't pull anything and the expedition failed.
From now on, Snowflake, you stick close to us.
We wait around for months and finally get going, but we're going too slow.
Do not worry, Mo. With the whole world watching, Captain Perry wants to get to the pole even more than you do. But he is being patient and using Taiguit.
Say, is that the name of his cologne?
If the whole world's watching, we've got to do everything we can to get us to the North Pole.
Captain Perry is trying. Now go to sleep.
Well, he's not trying fast enough.
Mo? Snowflake? Snowflake isn't, like, on the breakfast menu, is he?
No, is he missing?
Yes, and so is Mo.
She's not on the menu either.
Come on, Snowflake! We've got to get to the pole so Perry will win! Come on, let's go! Whoa! Stitch! Stitch!
We've got to find Mo's tracks.
But with this wind, all tracks are instantly covered by snow.
We have to try something.
A blizzard! Quick, make an igloo!
No, man, not before I find Mo.
Now is not the time, friend Stitch.
Now we've got to find Mo.
I will go tell the others. You wait right here.
Mo is right. There's no time for any more waiting. Whoa, boys! Snowflake! Come on, boy. Take me to Mo. Go! Go! Is she around here? Mo,
Hiya, Stitch!
You're not dead!
Yep, that explains why we're talking. Oh, I'm happy to see you too! But you're cutting off my air supply!
I thought maybe you were killed in the blizzard.
I guess I would have been if I hadn't remembered those lessons about building an igloo.
Mo, I think you're finally getting the point here. We better get back. We're not a minute too soon. Captain Perry and the others are getting ready to make a run for the pole.
All right, Snowflake, let's kick it into gear!
Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Aku, wait up! Don't find the pole without us!
Oh, I am so glad you are safe. And we're finally going to the pole. I think we should sled all day and night until we get there.
You're raising your body temperature. You're gonna freeze your sweat. And we've got to give the dog teams proper rest. Not to mention not sledding until after the wind dies down.
No, you have finally learned Taiguit.
You bet I have, baby! What is that, anyway?
I bet you it's some kind of sports car.
It's hard to describe in your language. It means something like people working with nature.
The pole, at last!
Hooray!
Aku, come over here and take our picture.
You know, Captain Perry is credited with being the first to the North Pole, but it didn't come easy for him. When Perry arrived back home, he was in for quite a shock. Dr. Frederick Cook, a colleague in an earlier expedition with Perry, claimed that he had been to the North Pole the year before. Experts had to be called in to settle the argument. Perry submitted his journal as proof of the expedition. Cook didn't have one. Perry sent his team members to testify about the expedition, but no one showed up in support of Cook. And it took an act of Congress before Captain Perry was finally declared the first person to set foot on the North Pole.
Captain Perry was right all along. What got him here was working with nature and not fighting it. That's Taggart.
Or, in other words, you gotta go with the flow.
Let's get you out of here.
Penguins, eh? So I thought you chaps lived in the South Pole. So what the blazes are you doing here?
We're on holiday.
Yeah, we thought it'd be a nice break.
So, why here? Why not someplace warm?
Oh.
Oh.
Not the brightest of creatures, you know.
Okay, so how can we use Taggart to get through this thicket?
Wait for winter? Maybe all these leaves will drop off. Or we grease ourselves up with seal blubber. Cool. Since vines are connected up top, they're loose at the bottom. That's using your head and using nature, Mo.
Oh yeah! Nobody else around!
Congratulations! You've won the Survive or Surrender hike.
Accursed bees! You'd think that swatting at them with various sticks would have chased them away!
Wow, looks like Dongle could use some Taggart right about now.
Yeah, I didn't think someone's rear end could swell up like that.